my sons.
Okay. All right. All right. Good people. Y'all gonna close that door? Yeah. Them cars and stuff distract me. Yeah, that's work. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. That's a good way to do it right there. Yeah. Glad to be back. We had a conference in Atlanta on April 8th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and all. I had bringing out a whole bunch of new speakers and stuff, a lot of younger brothers and sisters, as well as bringing out some sisters on the circuit. About 10 years ago, one of my ex-girlfriends went to see Bishop Musa when he first did the book, the Black Woman, the Original Guardian Angel. Yes. And so she said, well, you know, I really like what you're saying, but I would like to hear a sister say it. And so as a result, he said, well, hell, in that case, you need to do it. So it took about 10 years to go ahead and do it, but she did finally come through. We had a couple of other people, a couple of other younger brothers, a brother named Darrell Rice, who has got the conscious CDs that you was hearing with the libations and stuff. We got a couple of those back in the back. And, you know, for $10 for the people that want to get them. As also, I think I also have it also has some names that you can get in touch with if you want some future ones. They got like 1 through 9. And I had another brother out of Detroit, you know, a young brother like about 28. It came and dropped, and a couple other people that's been in the field, Reverend Phil Valentine, a sister named Myra Moss, that did astrology. A brother named O'Tim that did some stuff based on war laws, on how they are taking your laws, or basically how you have to get around the law. And also we got some stuff from some rare Moorish videos from New York. Brother Hakeem Bey, another brother named Azariah Bey, since this is the land of the Moor. There's one called Moorish Jurisprudence that's also breaking down these laws. We got these things imported in also. We got a table full back in the back. I got my business partner, Deborah, with me. We came together last year, around this time, last year, to form the group, the Archosophists, where they could take all my tapes from around the country and put them in one central library, as well as other tapes. You see, trying to keep this consciousness going, you see, where you can go and find a place that you can come and get some of these particular things. Let's say if some stuff is out, you can check different people around the country, but one place is you could also check Deborah and I companies that we have called the Archosophists. I got some of the people that didn't get the newsletters from the summit, and all. These are some of the ones that came back based on that. We want to also start a mailing list also for the people that want to get on the mailing list and stuff. Just drop to the back of the table and have her write your thing down also. So what we're trying to do is keep a close contact with conscious people around the country, so you have a network. Because now if you notice that it's not like the consciousness is expanding, but what we have to do is cultivate the brothers and sisters that's already in the consciousness and don't have to worry about the doggone masses and stuff. We know that gets ignorant and ignorant. So what you got to do is you have to deal with the quality and not necessarily the quantity. That's right. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, the conscious people walk around lonely and stuff because they can't interface all the time with their brothers and sisters based on the dead people out here. You know how it is. You're amongst the dead people. You want to say something to them. They don't want to listen. And all this type of stuff. So therefore, we try to, I think at this particular time we're going to have to do this around the country. What few thousand black people we have that is conscious, we're going to have to come together because of the simple fact that we don't have the numbers as the mass. So therefore, we don't need the mass because we are the critical mass. We are the head that moves the snake. You see what I'm saying also too. So a couple other things out there. There's some, I think they got like one, there's another, I think there's one left of Uncle Tom, the rare video on slavery that they did in the 1970s. And it went all around the world. They filmed it in Haiti, but the only place that didn't get it was America. So I think they got one left. Also, there's a white boy that did some stuff on religion. They did a research team came together and did some stuff on religion in the 1990s. early 1990 called The Naked Truth, Jordan Maxwell.
Right. Yeah.
And Jordan Maxwell. I have a few things back there, guerrilla Vodun warfare, as well as they have some other serious Moorish tapes that's coming out of New York City. And these are brothers and sisters that's coming together and putting down some other science. So if you want to, you can go to the back of the table and also get those also. On 4 libations, but the number to the Archosopist is a 404-344-6862. 404-344-6862. For the people that don't have the newsletter, these are some newsletters that's left over from the conference, and it also has the information of the conference if you wanted to actually get the tape. So for those people that didn't get those last night, you can pass these around, but the number is on here. And basically that's how you can actually get in contact with the stuff that I'm doing. Raise your hand if you didn't get the ones from, and just the ones from last night. The brother, he gonna pass them out, the ones from last night. And so, and pass those around for the newsletter. But in that newsletter, it gives the history on how me and the sister Delbert came together and formed the Archosopist. So this is a way also to keep in communication with me. You see, keep in communication with me. They formed the Archosopist. So pass those out now. The number is 404-344-6862. And this is where you can get a further contact, plus also my complete library. She worked around the clock for the last year, amassing over 200 tapes of all the stuff I have, and you will see part of those in that particular thing. There's about 200 in here, about 100 in there, and all. But that's not all. But they do have one of my complete libraries, and all the new stuff that's available in the country is on the front page. Right there in the corner, all the new tapes that's coming out with people, Moorish jurisprudence, and all of those things. She had a lot of that in the back. So I just wanted to put those out so you can have some type of reference of new stuff going on around the country and get in contact with Sister Delbert if you don't want to get some of the stuff off the table. But utilize the stuff on the table. It's only like $20. For the actual video. If you haven't seen these on future tapes, I'm going to give this particular one out to a watch-along. So in a few minutes and stuff. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to pour libations. And when we go to the break, they got food here. You can go, you can hit the table, you can get tapes. You can get the CDs from the brother Darrell Rice. We got food on the other side, and we're going to have all this type of stuff when we get through. And then we're going to give out this libation. We're going to give out the actual ritual. We're going to give out the actual ritual. And what we'll also do, in the question and answer, we will probably, if you're interested, we'll probably give you a lot of other rituals on the spot, because we find out that the most rituals is the one that you create out of thin air. Now, how the process is done, a lot of rituals are done so much around the country until it wears thin. So when you create them out of thin air, I went to California and I said all the rituals I created out of thin air out of my head when the spirit is moving, they didn't work. So what happens here is we pour these libations and the spirit comes in, and therefore they give us all the questions. Because right now what we're doing with this is a critical gathering. They talk about a time when the Africans will gather back together in the last days. But you're looking for some futuristic event. You don't know that you have been gathering the last couple of years, let's say late 80s on into now, where they got people that's coming to this new consciousness. This consciousness that we came back into in this technological age is not by some type of coincidence. You see what I'm saying? Not by coincidence. So we want to do that, but right now we want to pour libations to open this thing up. We got the water, so we're going to split the rum 4 ways. We also talk about this, get your rum. Especially any Jamaican rum, is good. Any rum from the islands, Barbados and stuff like that. But especially Jamaican rum, this Maya's rum. There's about 2 different types. Maya's rum, and there's Appleton rum, and any of the good dark rum. Even there's a real dark one from, it is the most expensive from Bermuda. And that's one, but basically the Maya's rum is one that you can most readily get in the store, but this is the one that they tend to love to death. Now, Sister Deborah, a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, I think it was in the first of 2000, she put out the doggone Bacardi for the spirits and had a big bottle, and they didn't drink any of it. As soon as she would put this out, they would lick this up in 2 days. So therefore, like I said also, now one sister, this is good. I put this on the tape the last time. This is good if you're driving without any insurance. One sister spit this 4 ways. You know, one sister spit this 4 ways. She spit this 4 ways. And when she spit it 4 ways, what happened? One time, she spit it in the car 4 ways. You just spit it in the car. And she was driving down the street, a roadblock came, and she said, damn, I ain't got no insurance, I ain't had none for a while. So she gave them a 10-year-old insurance piece of paper or something, and the guy looked at it and said, move right along. You see, so this is the kind of energy. This is the kind of energy. I believe this stuff here. Oh my God. Once you spit this to the ancestors, and the ancestors are used to you, okay, I'll see if I can get a chance. Thank you. If the ancestors are used to you spitting this stuff and all, then it just act as a magical elixir and stuff. So some of you brothers can't get it up and all, just put a little bit of that up on there and all, you know. You see what I'm saying? But then again, on the other hand, these are the way that things work. Also, you know, another good one is if you want to stay long and strong and hope so that you got to do the job, you know, you call on Papa Gede. Papa Gede is the god, Voodoo god over sex. You see what I'm saying? Y'all sisters might want to write that down just in case, you know, you're tired of that brother with that premature thing. You call on Papa Gede, and Papa Gede will rise to the occasion and all, and you can be the maximum lover that you're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Papa Gede. Papa Gede. Yeah, Papa Gede. You see, and so that's one thing also. But we'll get into all that. Let's post some libation. Let's split this 4 ways. Post some libation. Get this. Come on. That's an A. That's, you know, the way you frame it. But Obatala. Now, first thing you want to do. Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to put it back here. You know. Yeah, that's sturdy enough. They ain't gonna go nowhere. Yeah. First thing you want to do is you want to wear all white. That's the first thing. You want to wear all white. Anybody need any paper? Anybody need any paper? Very key. You want to put on all white. You want to do any ritual you want to do at 12 midnight. And I'll tell you why. Number one, the first thing is, I ain't got no pen now. Just pass some of that back. Any paper. Yeah, just raise your hand if you need some paper. Here. Pass all that back. First thing you want to do, pass it. You keep raising your hands. Y'all look behind you, the people with the paper, and give it to the people. If you need some paper. Make sure everybody gets some paper. Now, the first thing you want to do, and you know you all always rise to the occasion. It might be late, y'all. She'll feel the house after a while. Now, this is a ritual to Obatala. That's Obatala. Obatala. Obatala is the Yoruba god that sits over the head. His color is mostly white, so you want to wear white. You want to wear white. We might give you a couple things within this whole complex. So you want to wear white. You want to do any ritual after midnight. Why? After I would say one of the best times was 11 o'clock. 11 is a real powerful number. It's the 11th hour. Going on in that way you get the end of the first day on into the next day. You see what I'm saying? So you get 2 days. And that's a crossroads. So you're going to get the 11th hour plus the crossroads. You want to do them at night about 11 o'clock because you got all these messed up thoughts in the air with people. People tend to the thought level or that frequency tend to slow down. They tend to slow down after about 11 o'clock when they get tired. Therefore, the spirit frequency is much better. So you want to do any ritual after about 11 o'clock. But even if you can't get ready, 12 is good. But 11 is even better, 11 and 12. Okay. Now, you want to wear all white. First thing you do is you take a shower. And especially you wash your head. So let's say if you are, if you're sick or any type of thing like that, you got any kind of ailment, you want to wash your head also. You see, you want to wash your head. Because he works with your head. If you can get the crown chakra, you can get the majority of the chakras in the body. That's why Vasala is a good God for healing. You see what I'm saying? Now, then after you washed, you put on all white. It don't matter how fashionable it is. It could be a white pair of warm-ups and a white t-shirt, just as long as it's all white. You see what I'm saying? It's good to wear some white socks, but you don't necessarily have to, as long as you just put on all white. Now what else you put on after all the white? The clothing must be white. You can put on any kind of jewelry or whatever type thing and all, because it also has your force field in it anyway. But, okay, so you do that. So, you prepare an altar. So in this particular case, any table that you can drape a white sheet over, anything white tablecloth or whatever, that's the first level of your altar. First level of your altar. Now, in this particular thing, you're going to need a coconut. Did I get this out the last time? No. A coconut, an egg, and some white cornmeal. Not white flour, not brown cornmeal, but white cornmeal. White cornmeal costs about 65 cents, maybe $1 a bag. You see what I'm saying? So white cornmeal, coconut, and egg. You see, a whole coconut, not shredded coconut, a whole coconut. Okay, a white plate, but no design on it. That means it can have design on it, but it has to be completely white. It has to be completely white. You see what I'm saying? And make sure that the plate is some type of porcelain or some type of ceramic. No plastic, what I'm trying to say. It can be a regular plate, but no plastic plate, no chinette, or no paper plate. You see what I'm saying? So, it can just be a regular ceramic plate, or you can get porcelain or whatever type thing. I don't know, as long as it's not plastic or paper. You see. So white plate, make sure it's all white. It can have design on it, but it has to be all white. It can't have no blue on it or no gold or no silver on it. It has to be completely white. You see what I'm saying? It has to be completely white. You're going to get this right. Oh, you write it? Oh, you got it. Okay, straight. All right. You inspired this. Completely white. You're gonna also need let's see, the white plate, the egg, the coconut. All right. You prepare your plate. What you're gonna do is you're gonna crack open that coconut. So you need a hammer to crack that coconut open. As soon as you crack the coconut open, a lot of women have problems cracking the coconut now, so go get a man or whatever to do it or whatever. But if you get a good hammer, you can crack it open. Crack the coconut open. Now, once you crack that coconut open, the juice gonna run out. Get you a glass, something. So let me draw some of this stuff. So I can start. Just excuse me 1 minute while I draw this, so you can get a better understanding, and we can put it on the tape so the people can understand what's going on. Okay, this is your plate. So I guess you can get a little glass, because we need a little glass, something fancy, a little glass. Let me give a couple other things here, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll just put this here for right now, so that you'll understand what this is, and and I'll explain all this in a minute and stuff, a couple of books around here. I just draw the altar out for you, so that you'll know what all this stuff is. Okay, and I'll show you another thing in a few minutes. And I'll draw it out, then I'll explain what it is. This way you can get a visualization of what needs to be done, and then I'll explain what all this is. And then I'll explain what all this is. But right now, I'll just throw it out. This is the best way to do it. I've had people up in New York now. Okay. All right. When you crack the coconut, some of the water's gonna run out. Take the glass like this and pour some of the coconut juice in the glass. You know, some of the coconut juice in the glass when you crack it. You know, pour the coconut juice in the glass. All right. Then you're gonna go and you're gonna take, and after you wash, you take a little bit out of here, coconut juice, and put it in the top of your skull. Just a little bit on your fingers. Just pour a little bit at the top of your skull. That's called the epiphysis gland, which would probably be the seat of Owatala's domain. Now, you're going to crack that coconut, and you're going to cut 16 humps, 16 pieces of coconut. Now, that means that when you crack it, they have that little brown stuff on the end. You're going to have to get all that off. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to cut it, you're going to cut that brown stuff off there. You know, you have your hull, you have your shell, but inside of the coconut you have this brown type film or this brown type skin. So you're going to cut all that off. Make sure it's 16 white humps of the meat of the coconut. And you're going to take the 16 humps after you cut it out. I usually do a little pyramid shape. You don't have to be fancy, but it can just be blocks. It doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter. But you're going to take 16 and you're going to put it around the edge of the plate, clockwise. Until you just spread it out till you get it even around the edge of the plate. 16 humps of coconut. Then you're going to take the white cornmeal and you're going to build a mound, like a mound in the middle of the plate. Now, when you build that mound of white cornmeal, you don't have to build it as high as this because you don't want stuff to run off it. It can be probably half this size, you know. I just made it pronounced so I can demonstrate. But you're going to build a mound in the thing. You know, it's going to be something like this, you know, in the middle of the plate. Now, you're going to take a spoon and put a little indentation on the top of the mound. Just on the top of the mound. Now, then you're going to crack the egg and you're going to pour the egg on top. You're going to pour the egg on top of the mounds. The mounds of white cornmeal. Sometimes the egg will run off the side of the plate, so that's one time when you put an indentation, you can catch the yolk. But sometimes when it cracks all that. Just make sure that you get some yolk and the egg white and the yellow on top. Make sure that some of that gets on top of the white cornmeal mounds. So if it runs off and make a mess, just pick it up with your hand and make sure you get a portion of the yellow as well as the white on top of that mound. Now the good part about it is sometimes if you make the mounds not so high, then you can somewhat gauge how well it's going to stay on. Just as long as you get it covered. It don't have to be a complete yolk or whatever. Now you got this, you got your glass of coconut juice, you got your 16 humps of coconut, you got your white mounds from the white cornmeal, and you got the egg on top. You're going to take this and you're going to put it on the white altar that you drape the white sheet over, right in the middle. Then you're going to need a white candle. That was the other thing. White candle. It don't have to be 7-day this time, but you're going to need a white candle. You can use a 7-day, or you can just use another kind. It doesn't matter. As long as you put a white candle. You see, you're going to use a white candle. So, remember, your ritual starts on any ritual you do when you light your candle. That's when the ritual starts. Anything you do on a ritual, when you light the candle, that is when the ceremony starts. Okay? So you got, now, the other thing is, you dress your altar with anything personal. Any kind of spiritual books, you put it on the altar. It's good to get, because this is a Yoruba book, you can go out and buy a Yoruba book or a Santeria book that's comparable to the ritual that you're doing. The key is you're supposed to keep the book and read up on it after you get through with the ritual. So it's good to have the book anyway. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes there's a little pamphlet. There's a pamphlet of Obatala you can buy. It costs about $2. That will suffice if you don't have the money for the Yoruba book. You see what I'm saying? Or the Santeria book. Now, the key here is, so you got your book, any other spiritual book. Book of Coming Forth by Day, even the Bible. You know, the Quran, any spiritual book, Tibetan Book of the Day, any book that you have, any written literature that you like, that has inspired you, put it on here. Now, you dress your altar, you know, some cowrie shells with any other thing. It's good also sometimes to get a picture. You know, you can put a picture there, you know. You can also get a picture of yourself or the person that you're doing the ritual for. Now, the key here is, if the person is dead, and you know what I mean by dead, deaf, dumb, and blind, what we call the dead, people who ain't into this shit, then do the ritual for them and don't tell them. You don't want them casting any negative energy or shutting down because they think this shit is satanic. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it is. Anything about Jesus is satanic to the dead. Or anything about Allah. So, if the person is receptive, then you can tell them they can go, cool, go ahead and do that for me. But if there are people that ain't buying it and you still want to save their dead ass, which you know, that's going to be half your family members or half your friends. You have to be the God in this, or you have to be the doctor. You have to be the doggone healer. Okay? So if they're dead and they don't want to hear that shit, don't tell them. Just do it for them. Okay? Now, so you can do it for yourself, or you can also do it for a person. Now, if they're receptive, boom. Say, I'm doing this for you. Now, if they're really receptive, you can either tell them how to do it, or you can go into the ritual and do the ritual with them being present. If they don't know how to go through it. Okay? Now, so you got your altar set. It's 11 o'clock. You have taken your bath and you got on all white. Okay? Now, the first thing you do is you set your altar before you light your candle. So you got your coconut juice. Don't have to be a lot. You know, you got your coconut juice. Sometimes it's good to get two of them coconuts, because sometimes you get rotten ones. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they crack and be all dried out, ain't no juice. So get two, they only cost about $1, $1.50 maximum. You know what I'm saying? You can find them in any supermarket sell the coconuts. You know what I'm saying? At least something in town sell the coconuts, whatever. Now, the key here is you got your coconut juice, you put some on the top of your head, which is your crown chakra. You got on your all white, it's after 11 o'clock. Then, after you light the candle, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pour libation. Basically, the good thing to do is to at least get some of the Yoruba pantheon. You know, Oshun, Ogun, Yeminya, Legba, Shingo. You know, anybody can do. There's several books that got, you can at least get the Yoruba pantheon. At least. But you start the first libation off with Obatala. In this case. Well, in this case, you open your gate with Ishu or Legba. That's going to be the first one that you open up to. So you call on a Legba. That's going to be the opening of the way. Okay? After you open your gate to a Legba or Ishu, same person, then the next person you're going to call on is Obatala. Because one is just to open up the doorway. Next one you're going to call on is Obatala. Okay? Then after you call on Obatala, then you call the first form of the pantheon should be the Yoruba spirit, since Obatala is a part of the Yoruba spirits, Yoruba, the Santeria spirit. Then any other of the gods you want to call from Hemmitt, India, whatever, you pour libation. It don't have to be lengthy. Just enough to get it going. It can be a couple after your major pantheon. And major pantheon, if you just call it the Southern African the Southern African powers, it would be sufficient for those people who don't have the book. That would be Obatala, Elegba, Oshun, Ogun, Yeminya, Shango. You can even put Oya. Well, Ephah is just Ephah would actually be the actual system that, that's the land of Ephah, the mystical aspect. So that would be Shango, Oshun, Ogun. Let's count off. Shango, Oshun, Ogun, Elegba, Yeminya, that's okay, Oya, Obakala, which will be the first one. That's 7 right there. That's all you have to do right there. Then there's other ones. Odudawa, you can call on that. Orumala, Oshosi, Olakun, Orisha Oku. That's if you want to get fancy. But do the 7. Now, Obatala would be first, or after Elegba. Elegba first, Obatala second in this case. Oshun, Ogun, Shango, Yeminya, Oya. Yeah. Now,
These people, they're right there on that door, too. Right on that door.
yeah, okay, here's your 7 African powers. That does that. And you can go in and you can add some more. Whatever pantheon you want to do after that, you do it. So you light the candle, you pour your libations. That's with the water in the bucket. Okay. Now after you pour your libation, you got your candle lit, you need to write this on a piece of paper. First of all, you address Obatala. For those people, you're going to get the tapes from Brother Bernard and them, and if you want to get this, if you can't follow it, they get the tapes. The tapes will be available in about a week or so. So you're going to address, you're going to say, Obatala, I am calling on the Orishas. Obatala, I am calling on the Orishas. And you can also say, and the ancestors. So Obatala, I am calling on the Orishas and the ancestors on the behalf of the destiny of, in this case, if myself, it would be bobbyhemmitt. If it's you, it would be your name. If your grandmama, would be her name. So let's just say myself. Obatala, I'm calling on the Orishas and the ancestors on the behalf of the destiny of bobbyhemmitt in this case. If I want to heal myself. We'll give you some good things to do this with in a few minutes, which you can heal and stuff. On the behalf of bobbyhemmitt, please wipe all impurities, all ailments, please wipe all impurities, all ailments, all dysfunctions, and all diseases from my body. So that's, please write all what? Ailments, all impurities, all ailments, all dysfunctions, and all diseases from my body. Or from the person's body that you call it on, the destiny of. Okay? Strengthen my aura. Strengthen my aura. For future protection. You got that? Strengthen my aura for future protection. Now, after you do that, you specifically say in word what is wrong with you. So after you do that part, the broad spectrum, you want to specifically get detailed what is wrong with you in words. Okay? After you say what is wrong with you, then you might can throw in a little prosperity thing. But they have a real problem with you getting too non-specific, rambling. So be clear on what you're saying. But after you do the healing part, then you say, you might want a prosperity thing. Okay? Now after you do that, first thing I forgot to tell you. Let's go back for a minute. This is the first thing I forgot to tell you. After you pour your libation, what you want to do is you want to go to one of these spiritual books, the Bible, especially the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs, real good things. Because those books come out of Hemmitt, Afrikan, and a Moped. Or you can go to a Yoruba book and you want to write an invocation to Obatala. So what you do is you can go in the Bible and you can substitute Obatala for maybe Solomon or maybe Jesus or whatever. But you want to write a short invocation. It could be a paragraph to Obatala. It could be a couple of lines. So you write the invocation to Obatala, then you go into, I'm calling on the behalf of Obatala, I'm calling. So the invocation, that's to invoke him. And whatever invocation, that's what you think of yourself. You might want to think of one out of your head. Don't matter. But sometimes you can go to the book of Psalms or the book of Proverbs, and you can get one of the rhythmic patterns where you can read it and say, oh, this sounds good for a while, and add his name up in there. In something like a paragraph or something like a couple of lines. 2 or 3 sentences. Okay? Then after you write all the impurities and you said that, and then you got your prosperity thing, you want to go back to the book of Psalms or Proverbs or Revelation, don't matter. Or it can be in the Yoruba book, and you want to write a benediction. That is a little closing piece to Obatala, where you close out. You see? Where you close out, a little closing saying to Obatala. It can be long, it can be short on that one. Your benediction can be as long as you want it. It can be a little small, or you can ramble. You can even say some stuff out your head. Just give them a good ceremony. Okay. After you get through with your ceremony, what you're going to do, you're going to take the contents of this plate, and you're going to dump it in a white plastic bag. The one you get from the supermarket, excellent. Just double them. Make sure it's white. It don't matter whether it got writing on it or not, because sometimes you can't get all white. It would be good if you could, but sometimes if it's just a plastic bag, make sure it's a white one. The one with the 2 handles on it, because you want to tie the handles at the top in a knot. The 2 ones you carry at the supermarket. Now, the one you get from the supermarket. So you're going to dump the contents of the plate into the plastic bag. You're going to take a little bit of the coconut juice and pour just a little bit into the plastic bag. Okay? Then you're going to write a note saying, thank you, Obatala. Whatever else you put on a note is something you just put. Mainly, thank you, Obatala. You're going to put that in the plastic bag with the contents of the plate. Okay? Just plain coconut juice. We ain't tied it up yet. Put the coconut juice, the contents of the plate, just a little bit of the coconut juice, a white piece of paper, always white, with Obatala on the top, and say, thank you, Obatala. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Obatala. Okay? Then you're going to put 8 pennies in the bag. Not 5, not a nickel, with 3 pennies. You're going to put 8 pennies in the bag. That's his number, 8. You see, now it's interesting because if 2 of you all are doing this together, and I'm going to show you why sometimes you can do it together, 2 of you all. Remember, that doesn't necessarily mean that both of you are sick, but I'm going to show you something in a few minutes. Just get your 2 plates and duplicate what I just did. Now, sometimes with this, you don't have to duplicate the order. You can have 2, make sure you have 2 plates. You can have everything can be 1 except the plate. You take 2 plates and put them side by side with the same thing. And when you do your invocation and stuff, you don't have to, this person don't have to come and say the same thing over. You can say, wipe all this and stuff, just make sure you get both of them in there. You can play with these things. They don't have to be as rigid. They know what's going on. But make sure you got 2 plates with 2 offerings. Okay? Now, you got all that. You got the 8 pennies in the plastic bag. You're going to tie the plastic bag up, and you're going to go to a wooded area. Not next week, not next, what's called it? You can't go to the goddamn the wooded area that night. Don't fuck with it. Because you know you need to be some lazy motherfuckers and say, nah, that's too late, I'm going to bed. Don't fuck with this shit if you're going to be a nigga about it. You know how you get lazy because you're tired? God damn it, don't do it. I have to reiterate, not for you, but I know how niggas are. Motherfucker go to sleep at night, and you gotta do some shit to save somebody's life. If you ain't doing that thing, then don't fuck with it until you can get out the goddamn house that night. Alright? I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about motherfuckers in TV land, because we know how motherfuckers are. We famous for some damn, you see, some procrastination. So immediately after you tie that bag, you get your ass up on your feet, or in a car, and you get in there and you take it to a wooded area. You know a wooded area. And you toss the bag into the wooded area and don't look back. Toss the bag into the wooded area and don't look back. When you come back to your house, walk in backwards through the door. Walking backwards through the door. Now, that's good for curing diseases and some form of prosperity. Don't do it just for prosperity, because there's other prosperity rituals. But this is one of the key things. Every 2-3 months, even if nothing ain't wrong with you, you can do this ritual. It ain't gonna cost you less than $5. You can do this ritual to cleanse your aura. Let's say if you got some bad financial problems. Let's say if you got some stuff ain't going right. You got somebody messing with you. You can do this one every 3 months to clean your aura. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, you and your mate can get 2 plates and do the thing. That's why I said sometimes it's good for the 2 plates. Because sometimes it's just for spiritual cleansing. It's just for spiritual cleansing. But this is one that will heal. The other key ingredients is, don't do this thing just to say, just in case. Because these rituals do not work if you don't believe in them. It is only tapping into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind cannot produce anything for you if you don't believe in it. Because only it's doing is enhancing the crown, your own crown chakra and your own powers for healing. So if you don't believe in it, don't just do it just in case. You know, I believe in Jesus, and I'm doing this shit just in case. I believe in Allah, but I'm sick. No, well, I ain't healed your black ass. Then goddamn do it for this thing here and do it and believe in it. If Jesus can't get the job done, then hell, put his ass to the side. You see what I'm saying? And so, if you don't believe in these rituals, you don't do it. You see, you don't do it. There's other spiritual cleansing things, also, but right now that's one for healing as well as cleaning the aura. And you know, when you clean your aura, a lot of things happen. Because maybe you ain't attracting some woman or you ain't attracting some man. It is the aura that attracts in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You ever see somebody say, I don't know, he don't look up and down, but there's just something about it. You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Or she don't look up and down, there's something about it. Why is that? That is because there's something beyond the physical aspect that is attracting you. That is that person's spirit or that person's aura. You ever seen a real pretty girl with something about it just looks stank? You ever had that? I mean, it's real beautiful, but he said, no, something just saying, and she can wash all day long. And it could be a man. You can have some people like that. They can have on the nicest clothes. You know what I'm saying? They can speak the nicest English or the nicest language. And everything can be right. But something about it has got an off dinge about it. You can't see it physically, but you know there's something about it. You know this motherfucker looks stink. That's the black word about it. You know what I'm saying? That is because they have the aura is dirty. And you don't know what it is. You know what I mean? You don't know, that's a girl in Atlanta, a real beautiful girl. I said, something kind of funky about her. She just got this kind of, instead they can wash all day long. That ain't it. It's the aura is dirty. You see what I'm saying? The aura is dirty. A lot of people are clones.
Yes.
A lot of people that are clones, if that means that because they don't have the soul, the aura is dirty. You see, because the clone, you lose the soul. Get the movie 6th Day. One of the greatest movies on cloning you're going to get is the movie Arnold Schwarzenegger's The 6th Day. Came out last November 22nd. It's on video now. The 6th Day. It goes through the whole process. One of the best movies you want to find out about cloning that they're doing every day is get the movie The 6th Day. You see, that's the movie. That's the one that is one of the best complete movies. It's damn near a case study. Literally a prototype. If you want to know about cloning, get the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. They deal with the whole thing. You see, they deal with the entire thing. Y'all all right? Okay. Pillaging the Library of Alexandria. You can't mix up the time cycles on this. But the Etruscan mythology, which is black, says, in the beginning before there was the universe, there was Gaia, the earth. So therefore the earth is the most ancient part of the universe. So we're not down. The fall was not that we fell from one part of the doggone space. The fall was that we was covered over into a lower vibratory rate. So this is the doggone Sirius beat.
Yes.
That's why they built the damn the Syrian complex. Sirius A, B, and C. That's why they got the 3 pyramids in the Giza Plateau. We talking about the same thing. We're just talking about another dimension.
Exactly.
Okay. When Simpson's trial came about, I believe 92, 93, Dick Gregory, they had interviewed Dick Gregory, and he on CNN, and they constantly tried to get him to talk about the trial, but he refused, and he only wanted to talk about Jupiter, and he kept saying that, you know, we need to pay attention to what they're doing in Jupiter. Yeah, right. And they're trying to distract us with this ancient thing.
Exactly.
Could you elaborate?
Yeah, in 1994, you had what they call the Shoemaker Levy 9, which was supposed to be these comets or these meteors or something like that, these big meteors or something crashing into Jupiter. One of the real keys about it is in 1994, you had on April 23rd of 1994, the Dogon did the Siggy ceremony, which aligned Saturn and Jupiter. Now, based on the African mythology, that the black race could not go into an earthly new condition until Saturn and Jupiter was aligned. You can get most of this particular information in the movie 2010, which is you had the first one, Space Odyssey 2000, then you had the which one? Then you had the one from 1984 that came out. I think it was Space Odyssey 2010 with Roy Scheider. That's the one to get where this black monolith crashed into Jupiter and created a new sun. Well, the earthly condition in us happened when you had the Siggy ceremony, which is very key. You said it because something else came up recently. The Siggy ceremony, which is the Dogon tribe in Africa, did a sacred dance. They do this sacred dance to line up the alignment of Saturn and Jupiter that will give birth to a new sun. But the new sun is inside of us, the soul coming into alignment. So they did the Siggy ceremony on April 23rd of 1994, and what really screwed them up real bad was, at the same time they did the Siggy ceremony in Africa, Mali, Africa, the Dogon tribe, the black people on the same day in Atlanta did the Freaknik. And so what happened was, the reason why you start getting all the doggone attacks on the Freaknik, to counter this energy, and then they had the damn riots up there and all that shit that went on. That's to counter the Dogon Siggy ceremony, which means the end. Now they had 2 of them. So they call them festivals, or they call it the double horizon, or they call it the 2 summit on the mounts.
Right.
Well, they had one in 94. They had another one in April of this year. Well, I had a summit in Atlanta called the Hemmitt Summit doing the same damn time and scared the fuck out of them again. All this shit lines up. So the OJ thing was to throw some things off. The Shoemaker Levy 9 happened that year. The Siggy ceremony happened that year. The Dogon Siggy ceremony happened that year. The White Buffalo was born that year.
Yes.
Several things happened in 1994. And so that's also a form of a celestial thing happening in the petty universe, but also happening in the real universe, which is inside of us coming of age. What's that?
Would that also have something to do with the death of the two famed rappers, Tupac and Biggie? Since they were so famed, and Tupac was beginning to change for a more conscious mind.
Yeah, well, you know what is interesting, because the next year, fall 1995, they put out the movie Strange Days. Yeah. And Strange Days was based on 1999, but you got to realize the Dogon, when they said that they did the singing ceremony in 1994, they said that was the end of the millennium for them. You see, there were several endings of the millennium all through the 90s. So they put out the movie Strange Days, and the movie was based on the killing of a famous political rapper. The movie was put out in the fall of 1995. A complete year, the next year, they had the real killing of a political rapper. Now they can catch Timothy McVeigh over the weekend after he blew up the building, but they can't catch goddamn Tupac, killer. You see what I'm saying? Then the whole Biggie thing and all, but the whole feud that they had between those two was all government and set up in the first damn place. As well as how it's not that coincident that both of them have an album that come out that's dealing with death and crucifixion and dying and all that, and then they end up dead, and they made more goddamn money off of them. The shit went triple platinum, his last album, what, a couple months ago? 2 months ago? Or a month ago, the shit went triple platinum. So, in one aspect, Tupac and them was victims. But by no major aspect that Tupac and them was a major player in the game. You see what I'm saying? They were just victims in the aspect of the whole, they just represented the whole scenario of rap, period. You see what I'm saying? The whole scenario of rap, period. They represented that particular aspect. Now, keep your hands up, but I'm going to answer her question first.